In today's video, I'm going to tell you why you should not be multitasking. Yeah, you heard me. Keep watching. Hi, my name is Onajite. Welcome to my channel where I share productivity hacks and tips for busy moms and busy people in general. Today we are talking about multitasking. Multitasking. First things first, let's address the elephant in the room. Multitasking. Is it good? Is it not? In my personal experience, I am glad to tell you multitasking is not good. In fact, I don't think it actually exists. Here's why. When you're trying to multitask, you're trying to do 2 or 3 things at the same time. Say you have 2 or 3 emails open and you're trying to answer all of them at once. What you realize that you do is that you face 1 email per time, respond to that, then move to the next, and then move to the next. Same thing if you've got 3 kids and each of them wants your attention for different things. You have to answer each of them one at a time. In that scenario, are you multitasking? Not really. What we call multitasking is actually distraction. And you find out that you're not able to give optimal attention to different areas and you're falling short. You're half and half in between and your results are also half-hearted. Instead of multitasking, here's what you need to do. First of all, focus on one thing at a time. And when I say focus, I mean you need to give your undivided attention to it. If you're blocking out time to do it, ensure that the 30 or 60 minutes that you have allocated to that particular action is actually spent on it. What happens is that we start the action and then you're distracted by a ding on your phone or your messenger or Slack. Once you're distracted from the task at hand, it takes about 15 to 20 minutes to get your mind back into the groove that you were in before. So you need to cut out those distractions. My go-to method for making sure that I stay in deep work is called the Pomodoro technique. What this technique entails is that you set a timer, work for 25 minutes, then you have a 5-minute break, come back, work for another 25 minutes, a 5-minute break, and then come back and work for the final 15 to 25 minutes. That way you have successfully allocated 75 minutes to deep work at whatever task that you decided to do, and you're able to keep your mind on task. The 5-minute breaks are for, you want to go to the washroom or you want to take a walk, and you're able to come back into it. Each time you get distracted by a ding on your phone, you stop that timer. At the end of the day, you could say you spent 4 hours on one task, when in reality, you spent probably 25 minutes because you kept getting distracted. So with a timer like that, and you stopping the timer each time you get distracted, you're able to get back into work, and you're able to account for every single minute that is spent on that task. The next thing you need to do is define the areas where you can actually do 2 things at the same time. Now, this is not multitasking. It's you doing 2 different things which are not related, but you're able to do them at the same time. For example, I like to exercise, and most of my exercises include a long walk. I'm able to listen to a book, a sermon, or a podcast while I'm walking. Now, these 2 activities are not related. I can walk and listen at the same time at a safe volume, of course, but my walking is not being impeded by the fact that I'm listening to something. It's completely different from trying to read 2 books at the same time, side by side. That's not going to work. So define activities like that that do not interfere, activities that you're able to do one seemingly on autopilot, and you're able to do the other to fill out the time you spend on autopilot. And finally, set boundaries. If work closes at 5 and from 5 p.m. it's family time, make sure you focus on family time from 5 p.m. Don't attempt to answer emails while you're making dinner for your kids or vice versa. Define what's personal, define what's work, define what's for fun, define what's for exercise. Just make sure that all the boundaries are clearly outlined and in different buckets, such that when it's time to focus on one thing, you're able to give your 100% attention and time to that. And then when it's time to focus on the next, you're comfortable to move to the next because you know that you've given adequate time to one thing, so the other thing is not suffering. We tend to try and multitask because we feel like we're failing in different areas, when in reality, if we're able to just give focused time and attention to one thing per time, we're able to fill those buckets up faster and more deliberately and more efficiently, such that we're now comfortable to leave that bucket and move to the next thing. In a world that glorifies multitasking, it really doesn't work. What the attempt to multitask does is it leaves us more stressed, it leaves us less productive, and it leaves us feeling like not living our best lives. So change your mindset and change the culture of multitasking today. Identify your different buckets, identify the things that are important to you personally, at work, in your business. Decide what time allocation you want to give each of those areas per day and per time, and focus on one thing at a time. Only do two things at a time when you're able to do one on autopilot, and also when both things are not related, such that your mind is not conflicted trying to focus on what task is more important than the other. And then when you have completed one area sufficiently for the day or for the time allocation, you can comfortably move on to the next with no guilt, no shame. And in fact, you'll be looking forward to moving on to the next thing and being productive in that next thing. So stop multitasking, start to focus, use productivity hacks and tips, use the Pomodoro technique or any other productivity techniques that work for you, and start smashing your goals today. If you like this video and you found these tips helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and of course share with other busy moms and other busy people. Make sure you come back for more self-improvement and productivity tips. See you in the next video.